Okay guys, welcome back to another one here on my channel. The other day we did 5 things I love about my 172. Now quick note, I do love this car, I don't hate it. So this car was a bit of a stretch to find 5 things I hate, but yeah, we are doing 5 things I hate about my 172. So hopefully you enjoy. If you do, leave a like and subscribe, comment your thoughts, any suggestions, any improvements. I'm losing my hands, it's so cold, but I'm determined to get all this content for you guys. Not that it's high quality, I could probably just sit down in the car and be warm. Point number 1, speaking of sitting down in the car, is the size of the car. So I drove my first car, my 1.2, for 3 years. How did I do that? So obviously I've now got the Fiesta, which is another small car. It's huge. I'm going to be honest, this car is tiny. I was sitting in this car, obviously I can't drive it. I was sat in the passenger seat. I've sat in the driver's seat a couple of times. It is so small. I just can't get over the size of it. And to think that I drove this for 3 years, I'll never understand. The Fiesta, as I said, it's still a small car, but this car takes it. This is a shoebox. This car takes the piss. I know that's not a fault of the car, because like they're all the same. And as I said, it is a bit of a stretch trying to find 5 things I hate. And I guess around the track, you do want a smaller car. Like it would be fun. I have no doubts about that. It's just so small. And if I was to drive it every day now, how did I do it for 3 years? I still can't wrap my head around how I got in that loud, lowered, stupid thing for 3 years, tight as anything. I don't know. Maybe I've grown up too fast. Point number 2 is the fuel economy. Now, you don't buy a car like this for the fuel economy. My dad had to drive it an hour back from where we picked it up, which isn't actually too bad. It used over a quarter of a tank in an hour on motorway. So obviously these have only got 5 gears, which isn't enough, to be honest. A 2-litre 16 valve with 5 gears. I don't know who thought that through. It absolutely drinks fuel. We haven't had to top it up because we haven't really been driving it about, and it's always used V-power from what I was told. It's just not cheap, and if I was to drive this every day, I think I would be very poor. So yeah, point number 2 has to be the fuel economy. But as I said, you don't buy a car like this for the fuel economy. Point number 3 is a bit daft, but I'll put it in the video. The third thing I hate about my 172 is how long it took me to buy one. So this has been a dream car of mine, the 172, the 182, whatever. It's been a dream car of mine since I got my first Clio. So back in 2019, blimey, that was ages ago. I've wanted one of these ever since. I put in the whole sport interior into my first car. I tried to make it look like a sport. I never did the sport kit because I was a bit tight back then. But yeah, I always wanted a 182, a 172. I just wanted a Clio Sport. 4 years after that, I finally have one. I can't drive it, so it was a bit of a waste of time, but I finally have one, and I am so glad I have one. Like, I come out onto the driveway, I see it, and I know it's just a Clio. It sounds daft, but it is like an accomplishment. We all have dream cars, and I'm not saying this is like the end of the road for me. I've got way bigger goals than this, but this is just another stepping stone to let myself know that, Tom, you've done all right. If only I could drive it. Point number 4 is actually a genuine problem. That is the steering and the clutch. So I've driven it up and down the drive. The steering and the clutch is so stiff. So obviously I am comparing this to my new car, which is everything's light, everything's electric. This is so like analog, I think is the word. You will get big arms, and my mum would always drive my Mark II like onto the driveway, and she would say, that steering's so heavy, and I would always say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. Now I've got a new car and I've gone back to like one of the old cars. I understand now. I understand it's even heavier than the Fabia, and the Fabia was a 2003 car, so I don't know what Renault did that was so wrong. But yeah, the steering is heavy, and the clutch, my left leg, when I was trying to pull it onto the drive, I felt like a machine. My leg was pumping. It is so heavy. Again, that is me comparing it to a new car. It's probably me being a bit of a pussy, but it is heavy. Point number 5 is a genuine problem that I had with the first car. So it's the seating position. It's the point that everyone talks about when it comes to the Clios. This car has actually had the spacers taken out of the seat, so it does sit a bit more low, but like, it's still sitting high. Like, in relation to how you drive, it's not bad, but like just in general, I feel like I'm so high up, and like if I were driving this every day, I feel like I'm like on a boat. But as I said, I love this car, and when I can drive it, I'll be banging out the videos. I want to take it to a track day. I want to take it on country roads. Right now, this is all I can do, just sit and watch. So hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like and subscribe. Comment any suggestions or improvements, and hopefully I'll see you again. Cheers.